But we are kind of like getting the closure that I personally needed with this most recent season of The Bachelor. And we've been kind of going through it moment by moment. And I do feel like you were a little too smart for some of the traditional tropes that do fall in The Bachelor. Like classically, we see and we know based on your hometown date with your incredibly loving and wonderful family, just a sea of smiles. It was too much, honestly, Litia. It was like a commercial. But you said you were like talking to your family. You're like, I'm not going to sleep with him. That's like not what my intention is. We get to our fantasy suite dates, which we call bang dates here on the Julia Cunningham show. We make our way through those.
To the point, just so everyone sort of knows, but often not banging involved in the fantasy suites. And that was the thing that I thought was interesting is they did kind of line it up, where it's like, you're going to go last. And traditionally in the past where women who have known like, we're not going to bang are sort of like on edge knowing like what's happening in those other dates. It's like eating away at me to the point where you straight say to Grant, I'm not sleeping with you. Basically, you're like, sex is not on the table. And his reaction is, I love you, which I thought was so fascinating, Litia, because Me too.
does that not scream, have sex with me? I just said, I love you.
What's funny is that's not how I took it at all. Like I took
You're
it
so
as
pure. You took it as
being,
like, he loves you. Yeah.
well, I took it as him being like, oh, I don't need to have sex with you to know that I love you.
To know I love you.
I'm there. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like,
Duh.
I was so I'm like, even if it was like a tactic, which I have no idea.
Which maybe it wasn't, but it felt, that was my first red flag for me was I was like, that's an odd reaction from a man. Although you're like putting it in a way that I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Well, and it's like in that environment too, like you I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, otherwise, like I'm out of there. Like,
right.
I have
What is
to
the
assume
point?
goodwill. You know what I mean? And so nothing that he said, I didn't, also, I was very sure of myself. It wasn't like, I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet. I was like, I'm not going to. And he's like, okay, I love you. I was like, oh, okay. Like, me too. Great.
Yeah, it's like, great. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't to me like if it was a tactic, it just kind of like bounced off. Like I didn't even consider that was it didn't affect my decision. The decision.
No, of course not. Yeah, that was like clear what your decision was. But I think it was maybe more also after that conversation, he was very much like, maybe I should just be with Litia. I think this is it. Like, I'm in love with her. I should end it. And then all of a sudden he was like, but what about my other relationships? And that's why I was sort of thinking like, oh, did he think that saying like, I love you didn't actually work or something like that? Maybe it was just like the way it played out in my mind, but it was weird.
I feel like this is a common thing. Like this happened to me before, it happened to my friends before, where men just are like, well, I didn't know how I would feel until I brought the relationship to this point. And now that I told you I love you and I made you all these promises, I realized like, I actually don't really mean it. And
right.
You're just kind of like, well, that's kind of stuff you should think about before you say it. Like, yeah.
That feels like 101, but okay. Exactly.
Yeah, and he didn't. Like, I just don't think he knew how he felt until he said it and spent the time with me and with other people. And so, I mean, I wouldn't say those things if I wasn't sure, but